Hello, thought it might be quite useful to have a little chat about the Soldering Masterclass that we're doing in the summer. We had a few questions on Facebook Messenger asking for a little bit more information about the class. There is quite a lot of detail and some photos and general guidance and all the dates on online booking on the website, but I thought it might be quite useful to actually just do a quick video as well. Some of the things that we're going to talk about include dealing with common issues. We'll start out by doing a little bit of practice. We'll provide some exercises. We'll actually cut, grind and foil some pieces for you that you'll then solder, and we'll give you some guidance. We'll go quite a long way beyond what we would do on a normal beginner's day. So this class is really for people who've done copper foiling already. They've done some soldering, probably doing it at home, want to improve on where they've got to at the moment, maybe tackle some specific issues or challenges that people have got as well. So for example, one of the common ones, you've got slightly uneven lines perhaps on your soldering there. Can you see that? I've just messed with that with my soldering iron a second ago in order to make it rough. So we'll talk about how you would improve lines that aren't all that smooth. Spend a little bit more time. Obviously I'm doing a bit of a hasty job here because I don't want this video to be too long, but we'll look at how you can smooth your soldering lines, especially where some of the line is quite good and some of the line is a bit bumpy, and you just want to smooth the line off a little bit better without affecting the rest of the line. We'll also talk about what to do if you end up with too much solder, like there, for example, perhaps solder's melted through from the other side where you've got a little gap in your copper foil. So what can you do about improving the bigger blobs, how you can get rid of the solder that you don't need and then smooth it so that you probably wouldn't even know that you'd had a problem before. Now I'm being a little bit hasty. Actually, as students on our one-day classes will know, haste is the enemy of good soldering. So you can, actually that's looking pretty, not as smooth as it should be. That's because I'm doing it a bit quickly. And also the other quite common issue is where perhaps you haven't quite got enough solder. So hopefully you can see just there by my finger, I've taken off some of the solder that was there to give it quite a flat line. That's quite a common issue. So I'll show you how you can improve on that, add a little bit of solder and smooth that out to give you a nice domed bead without upsetting the rest of what is perhaps quite a good line. So there, I've built that back up, but without affecting the rest of the line. I could make that a bit smoother if I gave it a bit more time. One of the other things that we'll talk about as well, this would be something that we don't cover on a one-day workshop, but it's how to get a nice domed edge to your pieces. On a one-day workshop with beginners, we just tin the edges, but you probably know that the foil is a little bit vulnerable on the edge. It's a little bit inclined to lift off. You can make it quite a lot stronger by building up a bit of a bead on the edge as well. It needs a little bit of care, needs a little bit of practice, and that's something which we'll work on with you for the workshop. One of the other things that we'll do is show you how to take care of your soldering iron. This one's looking a little bit manky, but actually the tip's pretty good. Quite a lot of our soldering irons we've had for many, many years. They get used quite a lot. They get abused actually quite a lot. Our classes, they're quite well used. How do we take care of them? How do you keep the tip really, really clean and properly tinned? Well, we'll show you how to use a salammoniac block to keep your soldering iron in really, really good nick. We'll also show you how the tips come out so that if you need to replace one, you'll know what to do. And we'll also show you, because we're really nice people, what to do if the nut that holds the tip on gets rusted on, which it usually does, how you can get that off to replace the tip if you need to. That's quite useful information. So in the half-day workshop, I think there's an evening date and an afternoon date. I'll check on that. I'll put something in the comments. We will cover how to work on a good smooth bead, how to address issues like the ones I looked at where you perhaps don't have enough solder for a bead, or you've got too much solder and you need to get rid of some and then smooth it out, or where you've got a line already but it's a bit uneven and you want to smooth it out. So we'll talk about all of those things. If we have a little bit of time, we might talk a little bit about the difference between 50-50 and 60-40 solder and why you might choose one or the other. And the final thing that we'll do, not a great example because it's been sat around in the studio and it's looking a bit manky, but we'll also look at different patinas, the black patina and the copper patina, and we'll spend a bit of time working on how you can get a really good, smooth, consistent patina effect, because I do know that that's one thing that some people have a little bit of trouble with. So that's what we'll do on the Soldering Masterclass. Today I've been at the studio, it's Monday. I've also been preparing for a glass cutting masterclass. I'm going to put that on the website the next few days. I've taken some photos today, done a bit of planning today, get it on the website fairly soon. So send us your questions if you want to know more about that, or if there are things that you might want to cover particularly that you have found to be difficult in your own work. Anyway, I shall sign off and I'll say bye for now. Thanks for watching.